To make a Bolognese sauce, you will need the following ingredients: ground beef, mild Italian sausage, some pancetta, bacon, or ham, a good quality olive oil, prepared pasta sauce, red wine, milk or cream, salt, butter, Parmesan cheese, garlic, an assortment of spices, which we'll talk about as we go forward, chicken broth, chopped vegetables. You will need grated carrots, finely chopped celery, 4 finely chopped mushrooms, and an onion or a shallot, depending on your taste. In a preheated frying pan, you've added a little bit of olive oil. I'm adding, in this case, I'm using some ham bits and fat. You're going to saute and just cook it till they're kind of crisp. And while this is cooking, I'm going to work on the beef and sausage mixture. While your little pork bits are sizzling nicely there, into a larger pan that's been preheated, but no oil has been added, I'm adding my chopped shallots, my grated carrots. I'll then add my celery and my mushrooms. And just let them sweat. Okay, I'm sweating my vegetables. They're doing a nice job of sweating. I'm grating 1 clove of garlic into this pot. I'm mixing the sausage with the ground beef before we add it to the frying pan to cook. I've added the ham bits to my vegetables, and now I'm adding the meat mixture to the pan that has the ham bits in it. Start with a generous amount of salt. I'm going to follow with a generous sprinkling of herbs of Provence, some fresh ground pepper, and then I'll probably add another garlic clove to this meat. All right, back to this pot. You can see our vegetables have sweated nicely, and now it's time to add a slight saute to them. The ham has been added, but we need a little bit of butter to this mix. I've just added a nice little knob of butter to this mixture to start the saute. We've sweated nicely, and now we need to saute. Meanwhile, next to the pan next door, I'm still working on the meat. This will take a while. I want to keep working this meat with the back of my spoon. My meat mixture, and you really can't leave this alone. You've got to just keep poking at it. Meanwhile, my vegetable mixture is ready for liquid. So I'm going to start with the addition of some chicken broth, followed by a pasta sauce, really just out of the jar, and then some wine. I would say that was about 1½ cups of chicken broth. You can see the meat mixture is browning nicely, but we still have a ways to go. Here is a jar of just any old good quality pasta sauce. My next ingredient is a good quality red wine. I'm using a Coupe Syrah. I like these small bottles with the screw top because they're great for cooking, because you don't need a lot, but it's nice just to have a little dousing of wine. So I'm going to add probably about ½ cup of wine. Okay. And for my finished, an odd ingredient, I've taken just some chunks of old French bread to add into the sauce. This will all cook down and dissolve, but it'll also work as a thickening agent. All right, our meat mixture is ready. It's nicely browned. It didn't crumble up as nicely as I like it sometimes, but I'm going to accept it this way. And add it all to the vegetable broth pot. At this time, I'm stirring the bread in. It's already starting to break down, and it's adding a nice thickening element to the meat sauce. The meat is all incorporated into the vegetable ingredients. I'm going to do a quick taste for seasoning and another addition of wine, and then it just needs to simmer for about 1.5 hours. The pasta is boiling in salted water. It's going to cook for about 8 minutes, and so I'm going to finish the sauce off while we're waiting for the pasta to cook. This is just an absolute beautiful sauce. You can see the texture is nice and thick. Now I'm going to add about 1 cup of milk to this. I'm going to start with small additions. It's to add a creamy texture. And you're just going to have to decide what looks right. Yep, it's going to take a full cup. going to put it back on the stove for just a few minutes, and by then our pasta will be ready. We'll be ready to plate and enjoy this beautiful afternoon meal. It will be topped with a beautiful Bolognese sauce. Bolognese is a meat sauce. Actually, it came from Bologna, Italy, so it's a little bit different than a classic spaghetti meat sauce. And to this, I'm going to just ladle over beautiful meat sauce. Be a little bit generous. This is going to be Willard's serving. And we're going to top it with some fresh grated Parmesan cheese, never canned. And voila, lunch.